Bro, what up? It's a Coach Nelly YouTube exclusive bro draft video. We're in the queue. We're about to get started. I'm a little sick right now, dealing with some sickness, unfortunately. I spent the time I would normally spend streaming sleeping, but I've got a little bit. I woke up, enough time to do this before I pick up my kids from school, so enjoy. Right away, we've got this incredible Soldier Lord. That it's a Lord kind of, but also just a 3/2 flyer for 2, so that's very exciting. I don't know what they call this. It's not called the Mystical Archives, but our old board artifact is Blackblade Reforged. Not a really high pick. It's just so expensive. This other gold 2-drop is quite powerful, and Chaos Courser looks fine. We got some solid playables here. Disenchant, Giant Growth, a lot of beta throwbacks here. That's nice. And then Stern Lesson and Scrapwork Rager, Combat Career, all good ways to get ahead in cards. I'm the most eager to try out this flyer, though, that's rare. It's only the second day of queues happening on Arena, so I kind of wonder if we'll look back and what my opinions will have changed since then. Okay, Pack 2, third pack Iconoclast is exciting. Airlift Champion. Basically, the whole top row is decent. Combat Thresher solid. And Astral Cornucopia turns on some things. There's a bunch of payoffs for getting to 8 to 10 mana in this set. I also really like Emergency Weld. Supply Drop's a good playable. Gnarlroot Pallbearer and both those 2-drops on the bottom are both fine as well. It's the Airlift Chaplain or the uncommons. They're the most exciting for me. I think I want to risk it on the Iconoclast. The Chaplain makes a lot of sense too, although it's not a soldier. This one makes soldiers, so possibly end up in Jeskai soldiers. These two are like secretly best friends. I do prefer to be a 2-color deck in this set, but we got an actual Soldier Lord we could take. Yeah, I mean, I guess this Survivor of Corliss will table for sure. There's a good red removal spell. We could end up being blue-red and just splashing this, but if we're trying to be soldiers, probably we're splashing, like, the red, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take this. We also are going to need some spells, obviously, some non-creature cards, if we want our third path Iconoclast to do anything. Excuse me. Okay, we can blink things forever. There's lots of payoffs for that. You have to pay the mana. Sorry, you can recast things. It's not exactly blinking things, but it's still pretty good. I'm going to take this Evolving Wilds. Seems right. Huh. Here's a card I haven't seen people talking about, but it's 3 mana for Revitalize, so that's probably why they haven't been talking about it. Okay, this is playable. This is also fine, actually. Oh, and then there's this thing. Yeah, we want one of these, and it's easier on mana than either of these, so sure. It's a little awkward taking this because we don't really want to. Okay, we've got Curate, Medic, Supply Drop. I'm the most interested in the Medic. Yeah, black's kind of open too, it's worth noting. Whereas like blue and red actually seem like they've been pretty choked up. So that's a little awkward. Okay. Yeah, see, you don't want to have 100 of these in your deck, unfortunately. This is solid, though. This is fine, too. Honestly, this pack's not amazing. I think I'm just choosing between the Counterspell and these 2 different red card draw spells. I'm a bit more hot on the reunion than the counterspell right now. Ooh, this soldier's really good. So is this one. Okay, so this I think was our pack. Actually, maybe not. Yeah. No, this was our pack. There's a lot of stuff happening in our pack. Cool. Okay, well, we're taking Air Marshal. There were multiple good soldiers in that pack, but it's okay. We'll get over it. We're taking Combat Courier, I think. We could take a second Veterans Power Blade, but I don't want to. I would take another equipment, but I don't. Playing two of these, like 3 to cast. It's actually, even if you're not in black, it's almost just straight up worse than a Transmogran's Crown. Um, just the number of times you will equip an equipment in a limited game on average, like especially if we're trying to be some sort of tribal deck that uses tempo to our advantage at all, if we're trying to go quick at all. Spending 4 mana, more than 4 mana on an equipment's not great. This pump spell's fine though, and this pump spell's okay too and really cheap. I mean, I say that I haven't cast this yet in a game. This one replaces itself eventually. I really like that. This removal spell might be fine. It is 5 mana. It goes well with these power suits that have been going around. And it's a 1 mana non-creature spell. Sure, let's try it. I took it over a supply drop this time because Third Path actually likes it quite a bit. And it's a 1 mana trick, so I like that about it a lot. They see you have 1 mana up, and it's like, oh, no supply drop. No Sure Strike that gives trample or whatever. We're waiting for our opponents, I guess. Everyone else on the arena ladder that's not you is your opponent, right? Okay, Egg versus Soldier. Probably we're supposed to take Soldier in this deck, right? This Egg is really good though, and like we are 3 colors. I think if you would play the Egg in the deck, maybe you're supposed to consider taking it over the Soldier, because these are should be a dime a dozen, right? Oh wow, Arena wants me to take it. All right, this time I will take Soldier over Egg. And this time there's no Egg, so I'll take Soldier. I feel like this Power Suit goes in the sideboard, and it's because we have 2 already. This is 2 to cast and 2 to equip, so basically it has to be as good as the Jitte. Because the Jitte costs 2 to cast and 2 to equip. Here we should switch sides so you can see the deck a little bit more easily, I think. Oh, there we go. There we go. Great. Okay, so our options are Thran Spider, which is a fine card in general. It wants to be played with alongside other Power Stone cards, basically. But the stats are fine. It's a giant spider for 3 mana. And then it has this weird thing where it gives your opponent mana too. Urza's pretty good, but I don't think goes in the deck we're playing. This you can't play unless you have access screen. This is fine. Little egg thing. I don't know if there's a ton of ways to sacrifice it. This is really good, actually. So, or this. Yeah, the 3... Okay, so the 3 mana removal and the 3 mana 2/2 flying prowess are our favorites, I think, for this deck. And probably we should just grab the Prison Sentence. Seems like the most... Unless we feel like we have... I mean, we currently have 0 removal spells, so probably the pacifism over the flyer. Yeah, Reno wanted us to take the spider. Sorry, spider. I do love spiders. Now we've got Scatter Race, fine removal spell. Chromatic Star is good for our deck, actually. Steel Exemplar. Unless you'd be in one color. Recommission's pretty solid in these decks. Yeah, you get a +1/+1 counter on a 2 or 3 drop for 2 mana. And you'll have been grinding, so theoretically it's fine. Also, Aeronaut's Wings is like another Air Marshal, so like a little bit cheaper if you're doing it multiple turns. I think I want the Chromatic Star the most. Take Flight's pretty strong. Sigil of Valor is also pretty good if we're pooping out a bunch of little dudes, and then we can make one of them big. Go Bant. And it's an old border card, so this might be the only time we see it. Take Flight is kind of a bomb uncommon, but we're not in black, so we're not going to turn a Baneslayer or turn a 4/5 into a Baneslayer with it. So I think this time I'm going to take Sigil of Valor, but I want to take note of this opportunity in specifically, Jeskai soldiers, and there was also an Air Marshal in the pack too, but we have one Air Marshal and a recommission. We're hoping to get one of these eventually. Arena wanted me to take that 4/3 for 3 that stops life gain. That's interesting. The Final Meditation of Hurkyle. I don't know. I mean, it's a sweeper, kind of. I feel like our deck makes tokens. Seems terrible for us. Flaggy Dragon Engine is playable, though. Liquid Metal Coating probably does something for us. This is the 4/5 I was talking about. This creature really likes Take Flight. There's a Sibling Rivalry. What is this thing? Sack an artifact. Oh, a Sacrifice Outlet. This gets +1/+1 and deals the damage to the opponent? Huh. This actually might be better than this. We're not really looking to get up to 8 mana. I'm going to take this thing. I have not even seen this card before. Okay, we've got the 8/6 Menace for 7. Unearth 8. A Lightning Bolt. That's nice. Ooh, there's an Obstinate Bailoff we could have had. Elsewhere Flask and Energy Refractor, both good for... Oh, and there's 2 Lightning Bolts in the same pack? Come on, with the Disenchant. Spread these out for me, Draft. I think it's this one. This is the Lightning Bolt we want the most. Although it's only a tapped creature. So maybe this is better? Sorcery Speed removal? I'll grab this. First 2 mana Lightning Bolt over first 3 mana Lightning Bolt. Okay, another 1 mana trick that's pretty good in Scry's 1. Another Dinosaur Beast that stops life gain, which is nice. And then this 3-drop is 2 soldiers. Okay, so how much do we care about the soldiers right now? We also have 2 soldiers for 4 mana. Actually, this is more like 4 soldiers for 4 mana, right? 4 soldiers for 7 mana. Or you want to say that? This would be our only 4-drop though too. Our deck is currently very, very low to the ground. Maybe that would be good, honestly, having the 4-drop. They just want us to take removal. I'm going to take these 2 pile of soldiers because we do have a lord, 2 lords really. We should be amassing some soldiers. It's pack 3, right? Oh, it's pack 2. Okay, good. This is a playable trick. This is a 1 mana soldier. This is a sweeper. I mean, 1 damage. That affects us, for sure. I don't know if we're playing anything on this pack. I think I'd like to take this 1 Whirling Strike just so we have the choice of playing a Whirling Strike. Arena agrees. That's neat. Bonesaw is ready. I don't think we're going to play anything on this pack. I might actually take Bonesaw just to put next to that Thrown Power Suit in my sideboard. I don't know if we want a second Combat Courier for this deck. This is filler in this deck. Okay, we have a Sack Outlet for an artifact, so like we do have a synergy we can exploit there. And if we get a second one of these, then suddenly this becomes really good. And Third Path likes it. We'll grab a Recommission too. Oh, Recommission versus Conscripted Infantry. First of each. It's when it dies. I like the first Recommission. Second Air Marshal, I guess. We should take this. I don't know if we're going to play it, but... Okay, I think our deck is like a C- right now. I'm not super impressed. It does have a bunch of cantrips. It just kind of seems like if either of our first 2 picks don't end up in our opening hand, we're in big trouble. That's how I feel about our deck right now. Ooh, another 2-drop in 2 different colors that we aren't in yet. Exciting. The Millstone, we totally change tack. Phalanx Vanguard's a pretty good soldier, says Vigilance. Or there's the Wing Commando that we don't have any of yet. That's probably right. There's also a bounce spell, but I think we need this flyer. Okay, that's 24 plus a land, or 23 plus a land right now, so we've got to start making some cuts. Taking cards because we know we're going to play them over something else. This thing drops a soldier behind, and we have a bunch of cantrips, so it gets bigger too, so probably that's the pick. This deck could play a counterspell, but isn't super excited about it. We've had some chances to do that. We might cut second Survivor of Corliss for first Thopter Mechanic. Defabricate. It's an interesting one. Disenchant probably is correct. Or Unleash Shell. Second Pendragon Strongbow. I actually like this a lot. I wish this was a soldier. But I think I'll take it over first Disenchant, just because we took that Ichor Wellspring already, and we have like an Energy Refractor. Chromatic Star works too. The Unearthed Scrapwork Cohort. This thing, even. There's a bunch of things we don't mind sacrificing to give this an extra power toughness, and then dealing a damage to the opponent at the same time is gravy. Oh, we have to make a cut. Boo. I don't want to make a cut. Levitating Statue. Airlift Chaplain. We're at 14 non-creature spells here, so I think we should definitely consider this one. This card can go crazy. We could upgrade our Veteran's Power Blade to a Transmogrant's Crown. That's kind of exciting. There's also a Transmogrant's Altar. Just slowly upgrade all of our creatures. By upgrade, I mean turn them into zombies instead of whatever they are. Second Sigil of Valor. Okay, we did have 2 shots at this. It's worth noting. Second Wing Commando. I think I gotta give it to the Wing Commando. This deck does sort of want the bad Skull Clamp. Yeah, sure. No, I've changed my mind. Get out. Journeyer's Kite is in this format? That's incredible. Oh, 2 soldier tokens. Second Riposte. We never grabbed a Vigilance creature. That's the thing we could grab. I like the Trumpet Blast a lot, though. Especially now that we just picked up this Transmogrant. We picked up a Transmogrant's Crown, didn't we? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Okay, great. We have a couple cuts to make. I haven't forgotten. Haven't forgotten the cuts. Second Onslaught we could take. Or first Disenchant's probably actually correct. Second Medic. Third Air Marshal. I'd put another medic in the board. Oh, there's a Wing Commando here too. Oh my gosh, we got 3 Wing Commandos after all. Or 2. I thought I took a second one already. No? Okay. Really talking up my love of Wing Commando and then not taking it ever. I'm just gonna take this rare. I don't think any of these cards are making the cut. Okay, so this is 28. We have 4 cuts to make. The Blaster might be right. Feel the most confident about the Retrieval Agent, though. Actually, maybe Blast Runner does make a lot of sense in this deck. We've got 2 Strongbowls. Wow, that's a lot of Air Marshals we could have. Maybe this card's no good. I thought it was pretty good for me in Sealed so far, but Draft is a different animal, so maybe it's not that big a deal. Yeah, sure. 2 of those soldiers. after these last couple picks, we'll do the cuts in the draft in the deck builder. Nice. Maybe this card's just bad. No one wants it. I'm gonna have to cut my cool Wellspring Strongbow package, aren't I? Because the soldier cards just came together. This is worth noticing that there's a 2-mana Mortician Beetle on this set, hey? Yeah, I mean the Strongbowls they're fighting with the Flyers that are soldiers, which isn't right, unfortunately. I don't know if we need Energy Refractor. Our mana is kind of ugly, obviously, but much other fixing them. No, maybe we do need Energy Refractor. Energy Refractor is actually a combo with the Crown too, which is nice. Is there anything else on the board we care about? There's a Sibling Rivalry. I mean, the Sibling Rivalry is a combo with these Strongbowls too. If we wanted to bring them back in, steal an artifact creature. Or just a regular artifact. This does that. That's cool. Okay, so cards that don't, a lot of cards don't necessarily matter. They're sort of just gravy. This one for sure. I think these cards over here kind of represent the core of the deck. We're soldier tokens, right? Sigil of Valor helps out a bunch. Obviously, the Lords, Transmogran's Crown. The Cheap Trick, I think, is important for the soldier deck, too, actually. And then, the soldiers themselves. So over here we have, like, removal and extra pump spells. And we have to cut 2 of these. Which hopefully is going to be okay for third path. I think probably it will be, because in this pile there's several non-creature spells, too. I think the deck, no matter what, is going to have a big pile of non-creature spells. So it should be fine. I know this side is mostly creatures, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, even if we were to cut all of these, third path would still have 6 chances at getting value, so it'll be fine. Yeah, being 3-color and wanting to always hit like in the early turns, I think we are going to keep both of the mana fixing rocks, which means I think Combat Courier is out for sure, and then the good removal and the pump spells seem like they have to get included, so I just want to cut either the Unearth or the Bitter Reed. Actually, no, I've changed my mind. We should just play 16 land in this deck. We have like 1, 2, 4 drops. We just don't need a lot of mana, period. So let's just cut a mountain. Yeah, there we go. Needed to come to this screen to figure that out. Notable stuff in the sideboard. We do have 2 power blades and a bone saw. We're already playing an enchantment somewhere. We have this enchantment. So, like, there's a world where the power suit makes sense. The levitating statue is also in the sideboard. And this is kind of like a best friend of third path. So I did put this in the board not knowing whether we would get it in or not. But I do sort of want it in. I'm still thinking about that right now. There's these 2 4-mana 2/5 soldiers that can pump their power. Those could be better than something else in the deck. It might turn out. Same with one of these power blades. And then, of course, I've already talked about how we've got sacrifice outlets in case we want to play like the Wellspring or the Sibling Rivalry. So I think we should probably make room for this levitating statue. It does have flying and threatens to be like a... How big? How big could it possibly get in this deck? You just run into them in sealed so far. I've run into them more than once. They've turned into 5/5s. And Wing Commando is good, but it's not a 5/5 flying. So I wonder if one of these should give up their spot. I can actually see second Air Marshal turning into a levitating statue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, sure, let's do that. There we go. And it's baby's first bro soldiers. Spell soldiers, right? Maybe. Can I spell soldiers? There we go. I did it. Thanks for watching. Good times. Good vid. Okay. Get out there. Have a great draft, bud.